being a gay man walking into a male environment, I did feel very well at ease and comfortable. Maybe a slight concern of my sexual orientation, but I've never let that get in my way of success. I seen that the union and the employer supported the human rights code. Diversity was not to be there was not to be harassment and discrimination at all, a tolerance of zero. So when I read all that there, I felt very secure, very happy. Um, I was I was like, I just won the jackpot. Like I was that happy. I turned 31 on July 31st, and in 1992, and 2 days later, all hell broke loose. And I lived in the county of Prescott and Russell. Our clients came from the same jurisdiction, correct? And there was someone that was in at the jail as an inmate that knew me and that knew of my sexual orientation. So when he kind of opened up and spread the news, um, realizing how protected I am with the union and the employer, well, I says I'm not going to keep this to myself due to the duties I have as a correctional officer. I'm going to come forward to the union first, and the union strongly recommended that I tell management in protecting them as well as myself. So we set up a meeting and we all met, and it didn't go well because the superintendent was there, and the superintendent just sat there and listened, and I just, you know, stated what I had to state. And when the meeting was over, he got up and he was leaving, and under his breath, he said, well, this is not going to last. There was one manager that was referring to me as a pink skunk. It's a derogative um, um, nickname for the gays back in the 1960s, the gay community, and he had brought that back. He was an older gentleman, so he was aware of these innuendos. So my fellow officers would share with me, he says, well, he says, we heard you weren't coming in last night. He says, management so-and-so told us, oh, the pink skunk's not coming in tonight. So whether I was there or not, it continued. There was another manager that was walking in my presence and swaying his hips, and even though I don't have that that sway. I'm very so anyways, I filed a complaint. I endured it, hoping that it would become old and they would stop it. So from 92 to June 94, when I couldn't take it no more, I was besides myself. So I left and I filed the grievance, and they did an IIU, independent investigation unit, and my complaints were substantiated. So it went through the GSB, if I can say, kind of Mickey Mouse setup. It's obviously through it was the Ontario Grievance Settlement Board. So it's not getting true justice. It's still run by the Ontario government, and my complaint was against my employer, which is the provincial government. So anyways, that took 2 years, and I was young and new, and so in the end, in 1998, I returned First of all, in July of 1998, L'Ornial Jail closed for good. It wasn't humanitarian enough anymore. So they closed that jail down, and they all sent us to OCDC in Ottawa. Well, being it's not that far, the dirt followed me into OCDC. And with maybe 3, 4 officers working on the floor in L'Ornial, well, now it has tripled, maybe quadrupled. So I wasn't there a month, and it started all over again. This time it was fellow officers and management, and very openly calling me all kinds of names. I don't know if you'd like for me to say them. They're very offensive. For one example, in front of inmates, they would call me cocksucker. And that puts my safety in jeopardy, because if there's any homophobic inmates and they have the support of the correctional staff, my safety is in great despair. So again, I endured it for another 4 years until I couldn't take it no more, and I filed another grievance, and I left work under the directions of my physicians, and I filed another grievance. So in 2004, the hearing started, and went through various days, like multiple days. Like they weren't truly working to accommodate me or to facilitate my return to work. They just left me at home. In total, they left me sitting at home for 10 years. So Manulife assigned me a rehabilitation officer, and she worked closely with me and I with her, and she ended up testifying, and she testified that in her 19-year career as a rehab officer, she had never seen an employer refusing to accommodate an employee. She was appalled. Presently, being in my 34th year of fighting for my rights, and that I'm dealing with an institution of law, and that they violate our human rights, our Charter of Rights, including the Constitution. It's appalling, and not to be self-absorbed, and I have such a good record. I have such a good approach in dealing with our clients, and wishing to help them, wishing to encourage them. It gives me great satisfaction and great reward. I could tell you stories and stories, but like, you got to understand that 34 years is not divulged in a week. Very degrading, very degrading. Like, what would my personal life have to do in the workplace? Like, my performance was over and above, and that's all the employer should care about. Wow. We're still living in the dark ages. My lawyer told me that literally the employer slash counsel had that date circled on their calendar, hoping I would retire and they would drop my case and not face justice. Or they had July 31st circled. If he doesn't retire on the 19th, well, he'll finish off the month and he'll retire on the 31st. Well, being justice has not been served, and I will not. Um, I am um, I am a person of integrity, and I took a note to the province in 1991, as a lot of other people that are dealing with me. We all have taken that oath, but I take it to heart and I take it seriously, and I'm not going to deceive the Ontario citizens from the oath that I took in protecting and serving. The way I am coping and operating still is that I know I'm in my right. I am in my right, and they are not going to destroy me or embarrass me or take away my ethical views, my personal views, um, by any means. But at 64, the damage has been done. I'm still going to fight for justice, but 34 years of this, I don't think anybody would ever surpass what they have lived for 34 years. Um, yeah, the damage is done.